Hi. It's been a while. So I was trying to. I, I'm going to try to go back a few months and try to pick up kind of where I left off, or bring you up to date, because a lot has happened. So, hi, and thanks for joining me. And if you have problems remembering, or focusing, or doing things, and you've had an injury to your head, or a stroke, or something similar, then this channel is where you need to be. And hopefully I can get through what I'm trying to say, because it's been really stormy every day for a few weeks, and barometric pressures are one of several triggers that affect me. So some of those effects are my speech. Sometimes I just can't really get my thoughts out, or I start to slur, or I just don't know. Pain, of course, pain. Pain in my head, pain in my jaw, because I also have temporal mandibular joint. Some people call it symptom disorder and so forth, but I have TMJ. So if my head is hurting, my jaw is hurting. My jaw is hurting, my head will hurt, and then my eyes will hurt, and then just everything just is connected. So, geez, months and months, maybe almost a year ago, or about a year ago. Let's go further back, okay? Further back. I may have mentioned, I hope I did, but okay, let me just start from the beginning. Sorry. So, many years ago, I don't know how many, but many, at least 20 years ago, I was involved in a car accident. I was T-boned at a high speed, and I went to the hospital in ambulance, and I was checked out there and released hours later, and I was okay. You know, I mean, I hurt and I ached and all that good stuff, but I really was basically okay. The car was totaled, but I was okay. So the owner of the car that I was in and I, like the next day or 2 days later or something, we went to an attorney, and they sent me to doctors and physical therapy and so forth, and I didn't have a car, so I had to take public transportation, and I did. You know, it wasn't too far, but it was far enough, I guess. But so I would go by city bus, and all seemed okay, you know, until little by little, like maybe a couple weeks into it, I started like having trouble remembering where to get off, or where the doctor or the physical therapist was, just how to get there. You know, I just started not really remembering things, and eventually just downright getting lost, and sometimes not being able to show up. And soon after that, my insurance expired, so there was no more physical therapy. I went to one of these TV type lawyers, and it was horrible. Absolutely horrible. It was an insult. And that was that. So progressively, things just got worse and worse and worse. I noticed that I would have trouble waking up sometimes, or talking. Cooking was hard because I would forget, either forget how to cook whatever I was cooking, or forget basic ingredients, or where things were, or what I needed to make whatever I was making. I would forget how and where to take my son to school, and just things like that. And progressively got worse and worse. And so, one day I'm gonna go get my son and from school. And I come back home, and my boyfriend at the time was like, "Well, where's Chris?" And I'm like, "What?" Like, "What? What are you talking?" He's like, "Where's Chris?" And I don't know. Who's that? And yeah. So, and then maybe the next day I would go get him, and everything was fine, and some things like that would happen. So things got pretty bad. And then I remember waking up and my bed was soaking wet. I was soaking wet. Apparently I had peed in the bed, and I would pee myself because I didn't recognize that urge of going to the bathroom. Everything just went. I lost it all. Had trouble walking, talking. Didn't even know who was who and what was what, and who I was and what my name was, and then I started getting locked on things like because I was going when I was in the accident, I was going to get a check from work. So I guess that stuck in my head because I kept saying, I've got to get somewhere. I have to get somewhere, but where do I have to go? Where do I have to get to if I have to get there? And that went on for a long time, years. I'm kind of going fast through all of this. Eventually my life just fell apart, and I'll get into that later because I'm on another mission today. I'll go back and touch on details, and then you can ask me things too. Just ask me a question in the comments, and that'll help me, and it'll help us do more videos and touch up on those things, those details. Fast forward. I started to rehabilitate myself with the help of a friend. I learned a lot about food. I mean, medicine is in our own cabinets. Okay, like number one and most important. You might think that you drink enough water, but you really gotta drink some water. Right now, I don't. A gallon of water a day isn't a lot, or at least a half a gallon, but you gotta drink some water. And I started drinking more water, and I did notice a difference. Some of my normal aches and pains had, gotten bothering me less. I learned about avocados. Avocados are great brain food. I started eating like 3 avocados a day. I think I ate a lot of avocados. This is many years later. This is after being homeless and after getting into street stuff, just ask me, and I'll get into that. Because I went down a pretty dark road for a short while, but long enough. That was after I became homeless. I couldn't take care of my children. Then the people who I had trusted to care for my children until I can get better just kept kicking me and wanting to keep me down. So it was just hard, really hard. People that you think were friends or people you think want to help you are not your friends, and they don't want to help you. They don't want you to get better. They don't want to see you succeed. They don't want you to get, become better than them, or they just want to see you down, for some reason or other. I don't get it, but there we have it. Years after that, avocados. Yeah, avocados are great for headaches, for clarity, concentration. Baked potatoes, plain baked potatoes, also really good. So I started eating different, drinking more water. Eventually I got home to the city where my parents live, where my family lives, which I had for a while forgotten about and then avoided, and then just don't know. I met a man and he took me home, and that was hard but good. It was hard because my family didn't understand. My father did, because he was a personal injury attorney, so he knew a lot about brain injuries and TMJ, well, not really brain injuries, but TMJ, and a little bit about brain injuries, because he dealt with accidents and his clients and so forth. But my mother was, she just didn't understand why I looked the way I looked, why my jaw was crooked, and why I call myself deformed, why I just was uglier. She'd say, fix your face, you were so pretty before, and that would really hurt, and people just don't understand. My brother would look at me like, whatever, it's probably all this crap you did, or, so, and people I thought were my friends just didn't talk to me anymore, at all. And people, it was just, and then some other people surprised the heck out of me because they stood by me, the whole time, and I thought that was really cool. And so it's times like that when you really know who your friends are and who aren't your friends. Okay, so shortly after getting home, my mother passed away. And that kind of forced me into really trying to be there for my family, for my brother and my father, So I really had to concentrate hard. By that time, I was taking up counseling because I got the Obamacare, thanks to Obamacare. So I got my Medicaid again, and so I was doing acupuncture for my jaw, which helped a lot, and I was going to counseling, and in hopes of getting my children back, hopes of at least being able to see them, because I couldn't take care of them, and I knew that, but I wanted to see them. But people were taking full at it, with whatever was going on with me, and just fabricating things, and just, okay, I don't want to talk about that. But, so I really tried hard to take care of, to be there, to be present, and together, and be able to cook, and carry on conversations, and kind of pick up where Mom left off, Although I would never be able to fill Mom's shoes. She was amazing. But I did, I mean, it worked. and then one day, I heard that The Voice was going to hold auditions, The Voice, the talent show. I sing. I'm an opera singer. And I wanted to go audition for that. So I told my family, I said, hey, I want to go audition for The Voice. And they're like, no, I don't think you should. I mean, music is your passion. I mean, what would happen if something happened to you? I mean, no, you forgot the lyrics, or no. I mean, where is this? And I was like, well, I would probably go to Austin, Texas. And they were like, no. I mean, and then they tried to pretend or something that they were going along with. They're like, well, find someone to go with you. But, no one would go with me. So they were really discouraging it. And so, I just really wanted to audition. So I pulled out money and I did the little audition tape, and I got accepted. So I was accepted to go to in-person audition. So I told my brother and my father, hey, I'm going to Austin in a few days. I got accepted to The Voice to go audition in person. I had to send in an audio tape, and I got in, so I'm going to go. And they were like, what? They were really surprised and not too thrilled about it, but kind of thrilled, but uneasy. And I was like, I'll be okay. Mom is with me. I'll be fine. And then I had a friend there in Austin, and he kind of, I let him know right away. So he kind of advised me, and he was there with me, for me, so forth. But anyway, so I went, I auditioned. I got there on time. Everything was good. I did not make it, but I did make it. I did it. I went, I sang, I did not forget. I even went out afterwards. I even had some wine, and I still made it to the hotel. Still didn't get lost. And then I made it home, and I called that my reborn day. That was the day that I needed to do that, because I was now in society. I was ready. I was ready to get back in and do things again, Oh God, that was really even more scary than what I was doing already. Oh man. Oh geez. I wanted to do it all. Oh man. So I had to start counseling for that. I need to slow down. But in all of that, oh God, I joined a band. I was cooking, sewing. I was I was building websites and stuff, and I was working on reopening a business that I had. Only it was going to be different. I used to own advertising and promotions. I owned and ran advertising and promotions shop, but now I wanted to open it as a gallery, an art gallery. I love art and antiques, and so anyways, that's what I was doing. So I was preparing for that, and in all of this, I thought, well, sometime prior to that, my dad was like, "You think you'll want to maybe go back to work someday?" And I was like, "Yeah, and he was like, "What would you want to do?" And I was like, "I'd go back to restaurant. I loved restaurant work, hostessing and waitressing and serving, and I just love that travel and hospitality and tourism, and so but I don't know. I went to bed one night and woke up the next morning. I want to become an interpreter. So I'm going to go to this interpreting school that I found, and that's where I'm going. Turns out that pardon me, that school was started by my new boyfriend's, the one who took me home to Santa Fe. His uncle started that. So I was all psyched. He was psyched too. My father was thrilled, because my parents always wanted me to become something other than an artist, which is what I was. I went on my own course, They just wanted me to be something different, something that would earn money, something that was stable, something that would get me Social Security, and I've always just done my own thing. We'll get to that video too. Yeah, so he was thrilled. He's like, okay, well, you're not going to be a secretary, you're not going to be an attorney, but you're going to be an interpreter. I thought, yeah, because I was told that I would not talk or walk again above the level of a 3-year-old. And I'm talking. Now I'm going to honor my mother, who is from Spain, and she was very strict with us that we speak both languages perfect. So I wanted to honor Mom with that. So I went to the school. It was hard. I it was like, oh, this will be easy, because I have 2 mother tongues, and my father was a personal injury attorney, so I knew all that legal terminology. So this is going to be a breeze. It's one of the hardest things I've ever embarked on. I loved it. And it's weird because I was never really a good student until much later on in life. But yeah, I did really good in this class. It took me longer, I think, than other people, maybe, but I loved it, and it's really not so easy because it's not just knowing English and Spanish. You've got to know dialects, cultures, and the terminology changes with culture and with dialects and with of course countries and within the areas of practice, the different like personal injury or divorce or business, the terms will change, so it's like, whoa, I loved it. I love it, and I miss it. Okay, so I went to school, and I made it. I became an interpreter. So I was psyched, so now I'm working on that, and then I find out some other things. We'll touch on that. But, yeah, so now I wanted to write my story. And I wanted to go help people, because if I can do it, if I can beat this, other people can, or at least try, and at least change the severity of it or something, So I started to just advocate, you can do it, just, I'm not saying it'll work 100% or as much as it helped me, but it'll help in some way or other. It'll maybe at least get you busy, Fast forward. I think maybe I should stop there. No, I'm gonna keep going. Okay, so I decided I want to write my story, and I want to open a YouTube page, and I want to do a Facebook thing, and I start another business along with the other one that I had already started. So now I want to start as a contract interpreter. So I'm doing all that stuff. I had to do internship first. So these things were cool, I was working, I was traveling. I got a contract with a physician in Oklahoma who worked in a children's hospice. That was hard, but I dug it, And I would go every month, sometimes a couple times a month. So I was traveling, and then I would work online. So I would work for people from India to or from Jerusalem, or from wherever they were that they needed someone to speak English and Spanish. So I became kind of like an international interpreter. And I just was loving it, and I was just going on my way. Now, I did have problems, I still hurt. There were still days when I couldn't go to work because of the pain or because of my slowness. Winters were hard, summers were hard, but I was pretty upbeat because I knew that it wouldn't last. It wasn't like earlier shortly after my accident, when all I saw was darkness, I knew things were good, man. I mean, I was awesome. I mean, I finally found A, my calling, B, my value, my self-worth. I mean, oh yeah, Mara, woo, you know. And then came COVID. So I think I'm gonna stop there because it's already kind of a long video. Because COVID kind of changed everything. It kind of hit me on the head, kind of saying, hey, no, I'm not gone. I'm not gone. I'm still here. Yep, your brain is not 100% good. So now what? Oh man, so I know that was kind of a fast kind of what's it called? Condensed version of everything, but oh god, yeah, I'm gonna stop there. Wait, yeah, I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna stop at the COVID, but from the next video, I'm gonna take COVID and go back a couple years to my starting to open the business, my interpreting business. But if you have any questions, please write them down. If you have a brain injury, whether it be from a car accident or a fall or a stroke or whatever, it'd be nice to meet you. So subscribe to my channel, like it, share it, and leave me some comments, okay? I promise I'll try to do better on doing these videos. So, and I just noticed, I'm just ahead today. Anyways, okay. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next video. And you know what? I gotta keep saying this, but don't judge a person until you know their story. It's been a long time since you've heard me say that, but know somebody's story before you make accusations or judge them. You might be surprised, okay? And remember, you've got an inner power that is so much stronger than you know. So thanks. I'll see you next time.